Non-fiction books, self-help content, self-motivational content, all of these are scam. Well, if you are also the one who think this way, then we need to talk. Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Swati, and as some of you might know who have watched my previous video, and I'm an avid reader of non-fiction or self-help books, or an avid watcher of self-help content to grow myself and also for the project accountability that I'm doing. So, if you're also someone who believes that non-fiction books or self-help books or self-help content do not work and they are a scam saying the same thing, it means you're not reading it properly, watching it properly, or you actually don't know how to make those content be useful for you. The very first thing is that you do not need to read the whole book. Any non-fiction books or any self-motivational content or any self-development books, it's not necessary that you have to read the whole book. Reading the whole book is not the purpose of those books. The only purpose of those books is to help you understand what you're missing, what you're struggling with, give you a pinpoint to you in a certain direction so that you can, walk the path that you need to. Those books are not meant to read to be read at a stretch from starting to the end and be like, oh, I finished one books. You will gain nothing if you have read 100 or 200 such kind of books, but you have not planned accordingly, you have not executed those, and you do not actually know how to use what you have read. So the first thing is it is not mandatory for you to read. You can stop reading as and when you wish like. Also, why it is not mandatory, because a lot of these books comes with different kinds of chapters. So it's there is not all the content that is there in the books. It's not necessary that you need all those content, all those gyan at every point of time. There are times when you're struggling with only one particular thing. Maybe right now I'm struggling with something related to my job, and I only need to read such content which will help me in that, maybe in my education, maybe in my relationship, maybe food, health wise or something. So there will definitely a lot of times there will be chapters related to that, and you can read only those content, only those parts, only those pages with related to the part that you're struggling with related to the part that you actually want to learn right now or deep dive into. You do not have to read the whole book again and again, and that is what I do. I have read a lot of books, and I have read a lot of books from starting to the end also, but there are a lot of times when I just reread some part of it. When I know, like, I open up, I'm like, okay, this is the part that I'm struggling with, this is something, maybe if I'm struggling with overthinking, then I just go back to those part, though not only in books, it's those content or those podcasts or those videos which will help me in coming out of that, in coming out of what I'm struggling at that particular point of time. So if you think that these content or these books don't help, it means you're not making them work for you, or you're not reading it properly, you're not watching it properly. First thing is Second thing is that you do not need to watch it. And also the main part is you have to read those things again and again. You cannot expect that if you read one concept, one productivity hack, or one productivity video, like today, and you'll remember this forever, and you'll never need what to say you'll never need to remind yourself of that again, and you'll be able to execute it for your whole life. That is not gonna happen. You have to revisit that content, you have to revisit that book, you have to revisit that concept again and again for it to be like a second brain for you, for it to be like, okay, this is very normal. Even if it is normal, still you have to look for some other concepts, you have to revisit those. If someone believes that reading one book, even 10 books, and then they'll be pro at self development, and they'll be like the most self aware people and self developed people, it doesn't happen like that. You have to revisit those concepts, those chapters, those theories again and again and again, because even for me and for everyone, if I know that, okay, I'm struggling with for example, like I said, overthinking, and then for some time I'll be able to calm myself, understand, I'll be able to overcome it, but there will be a phase where I'll struggle with it again, I'll not understand what to do, I'll have to go back and read that again or watch that again, so that it becomes subconsciously in my mind, it becomes so normal that watching those content or reading those books becomes very natural. And I always go back to those kind of content, because I know once I stop doing that, I'll again go back to the loop. And it's not only me, it's like, if you see extremely successful people also, and you think that they are very self-aware or self-motivated, and they have only been motivated once in their life, and now they are with that one piece of motivation, they are doing everything. It is not. They are very much aware that they have to revisit those concepts, those things again and again, and they make a habit of themselves to upskills in these categories every day. They know the moment they think that they are more self-aware, they do not need, these life skills, they do not need to revisit these life skills anymore. That's where their downfall will start. They are very much self-aware that this is needed and that it is needed to be revisited again and again. Let alone these life skills, even if it is in a any technical skill that you're wanting to learn, you revisit it, right? You learn it from the basics, then you learn the concept, then you practice it, and then do it again. If you are learning something and you do not do it for years, obviously you'll forget and you have to revisit that. So when that you understand this concept for technical skills, why not these skills? These are also skill. Learning, learning any life skill is a skill. Learning how to apply that in your life is a skill. And also, the only way these books or these content or these podcasts will not work if you're only reading it, if you're only consuming and not doing anything out of it, like, then definitely these will not work. They'll not help you out in any way. If you're consuming at least 100 pages, make sure at least 2 pages you're executing at least in the beginning, so that you also feel a sense of accomplishment that I'm doing something. If I'm learning something, then I'm making use of it. It doesn't matter how much theoretically self-aware you are, if you're not executing it or actually making use of the content that you have taken in, it doesn't make any sense. It's coming in, there's nothing going out, and it will not help you in any way. So if you're not convinced till now that self-help books and all these content help, and how to actually read those through, let me know. I'll make a more elaborate video and try to convince you all, because those books are actually like guidance or a map for us to be better in life, to do better in life, to be a better person, and to help us with whatever we are struggling with. No one can literally make us do something physically or literally. Anyone or any book or any such content can only guide us, and that's what they are, to guide us. But we have to obviously revisit them, go back to it again. We cannot assume reading it once will help us forever. Thank you.